I've been thinking lately about how a week is rarely defined by one big thing. Most weeks aren't made up of milestones or major events. Instead, they're filled with sorts of smaller moments that quietly pass by without much attention. The things we do between the bigger things. The things that don't seem important enough to write down in a diary, but somehow end up being the memories we keep. This week has felt a little like that. A collection of small moments, simple jobs, and ordinary experiences. Nothing particularly dramatic. Just life, unfolding one day at a time. We went out this week to a local place. The views, the trees, the changing weather. None of it especially unusual when you live here. Perhaps, though, that's exactly why it's worth noticing. It's easy to stop seeing the things that are always around us. Sometimes I think soft living really is just paying attention, noticing things before they become invisible through familiarity. And one of those moments was spending time visiting a petting farm. Watching children experience animals and the outdoors is one of those things that never really gets old. Everything is new to them. Everything feels exciting. Things that adults walk past without noticing suddenly become fascinating again. And I always find myself slowing down a little when I'm around animals. Perhaps because they don't seem particularly concerned with being productive. They're just busy being exactly what they are. There's something quite peaceful about that. I think spending time outside helps too. The same peace we often get through something as simple as making a hot drink. For me, it's a hot chocolate. It's such an ordinary part of daily life that it would be easy to overlook it. But small rituals matter too. They create little pauses in a day. Moments where nothing particularly important is happening. And yet somehow, those moments often become the ones that make us feel most at home, most ourselves, and most cared for. Also this week, my husband surprised me by bringing home a second-hand dehydrator. He found it for £40, which felt like quite a bargain for the type that it is. And before I could use it, I wanted to give it a really good clean. There's something I enjoy about giving old things a second life. Not just because it's practical or saves money, although that's always nice, but because I like the idea that useful things can keep being useful, that something doesn't need to be brand new to have value. Sometimes it just needs a little care and attention. And I think that's true of more than just household items. When I look back on this week, I don't think I'll remember it as the week I cleaned a dehydrator, or the week I made hot chocolate for myself, or even the week we visited an outdoor activity farm. I'll probably remember it as a week filled with lots of small moments. The kind that doesn't seem remarkable on their own, but together create the shape of a life. I think that's something I've seen more and more lately. How much happiness is hidden in these ordinary things. Not because ordinary things are perfect, but because they're real. Small things, maybe, but they're often the things that fill a week. I'll see you in the next one.